Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
Open up the history books. Here comes Rondé.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon!
And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers.
Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
So live it up right here, right now. Till the sun comes up and the lights go out.
We scored! For the first time in 15 quarters, Wisconsin has scored a touchdown. The Badgers do fall 21-7 to Oregon in Eugene. Our pregame show was in Oregon. And it's sad to say this, but that score, that final score, the score in the fourth quarter, from Hunter Simmons to Lance Mason, it's sad to say this, but that was enough to make us happy.
It was.
That brought me joy.
Yes, I was so happy. And, most of the game I just felt, well, I guess at the start, we were kind of optimistic. We were like, okay,
we're hanging around.
Defense is really hanging in there. At what point, maybe cloaked Luke Fickell is a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to put something over the vest, and this team has a different moxie to it. So we had that hope. And then Oregon scored at the end of the half. They scored to start the half, and it's like, okay, we're going to lose a snooze fest, whatever. But then we scored a touchdown, finally, for the first time in 15 quarters. There's something to cheer about. And I need to hear the Matt LePay call because we had multiple. One of my friends texted me, Jim Polzine tweeted about it, that it was the most emphatic
Apparently he went nuts.
Touchdown Wisconsin call ever. I need to hear that call. And I was fired up. My reaction's out on Twitter. I didn't know you were filming me, Cory.
I had to.
Until afterwards.
You were locked in. I was like, I have to see what his reaction is going to be.
I was so happy. And then what happens? Immediately after I finally get to taste some joy when it comes to watching Wisconsin football, what happens?
Get some more stale gum, back to our analogy from a couple weeks ago.
Yes, the defense stops Oregon. Awesome. You know what? Are they going to win this game? No, but hey, maybe you get a crazy touchdown, onside kick. At least
possession game.
You can make them scared. You can make it interesting. And what happens? Hunter Simmons back to throw. Whistles it over the middle. Oh, it's right to an Oregon defender.
Off his chest.
Is anyone surprised?
That was bad.
No, not at all.
It's tough.
Wisconsin quarterbacks have been an absolute joke for the past 3 seasons, and we have not had a worse iteration than Hunter Simmons. And I didn't think that was possible.
No.
After Braden Locke. Especially, there are so many parallels to last year's Oregon game. I believe the stat line was pretty similar for Simmons and Locke. And last year, one of the big talking points was, man, if Wisconsin just had Tyler Van Dyke, if they just had a quarterback, they beat Oregon.
Yeah.
And today, I don't think they beat Oregon. They would have had a shot to beat Oregon.
They would have had a passing game. We had to run the ball the entire game until the underthrow.
Gideon Atuka looked great.
Great game.
He fought his butt off. A lot of the young guys today played really well, and we'll talk more about that later. But Hunter Simmons, man, how could you be worse than Braden Locke? There's no semblance of competency.
I'm going to be fair, and we'll talk about...
That might be harsh, but...
we'll talk about where Hunter Simmons came from. If you're just diving into the season, Wisconsin's really had the national spotlight on them for all the wrong reasons the last few weeks. They went 15 quarters without a touchdown. That streak is over. We'll dive into the offense. We'll dive into the fact that this team fought with a lot of effort today. Mm-hmm. This was more impressive than the Michigan game for me. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
Yes.
I feel like this was their best group of 4 performance of this year. At least. We'll dive into a lot of things, for sure. But this is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We are on the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels. We're live on 100.5 ESPN Madison in the new customizable ESPN Wisconsin app. My name is Cory Sparks. I'm joined by Riley Jauch. Owen Dimful is producing here at the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison. And ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is presented by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, Riley.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I what a game might be a bit strong, but way to hang in there is probably more how we're feeling right now. 21-7 is the final. We do want to hear from you. 844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. You can go into the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels, go into the live chat, and chime in. I immediately love this. We have Shan King 101D4V saying, never thought I'd say I miss Braden Locke, but
You're not alone.
yeah.
Braden Locke gives him a better chance
He
at
pushes
winning
the
this
ball
game.
down the field. He makes a couple suspect throws.
Yes. Does
but
he make very poor decisions? Yes. But he actually showed some flashes of talent. And we were talking about this during the game, the difference between Danny O'Neal and Hunter Simmons, and why I think we would have liked to see Danny O'Neal a little bit. Like, Danny O'Neal makes true sophomore young quarterback mistakes.
But you still
he
see
makes
the
poor
potential.
decisions.
Right.
But there's talent there and potential. Hunter Simmons is, I believe, a redshirt senior transfer from SIU. He just doesn't have it, man.
No.
He does not have the talent.
Yeah,
he's
senior.
a big guy. He's got a good prototypical quarterback build, and he can't hit a target to save his life. And this is the second straight year we've played a top 10 team where their backup quarterback has come in, and Badgers fans are like, man, I wish I had that guy on my team. Brock Thomas, what are you doing 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Whenever they end up playing Washington, whenever that time slot is.
Yeah, you're
But
free, buddy. Yeah. So that was the bad, right?
Yes.
This team had no passing game. Hunter Simmons at one point was 1 for 13, and the stats just got more and more ridiculous when you do a little math and go, oh, as many incompletions as passing yards. You don't see that every day or even once in a season.
No, not really.
Filled up the stat sheet towards the end, and it's eerily similar, actually, to what we saw from Braden Locke. We have a lot to cover. We're going to go over Max Letter. This is the first time we've had the postgame show since that came out earlier last week. I do want to have a Carter Smith conversation. You could probably understand why. We'll talk a bit about Braden Locke and whether or not he wins this game. We have a new game we're going to play towards the end of this first hour called Better Than Bucky, Riley. I'm excited for this, especially after this team did show some fight today against the number 6 team in the country. We'll see if they're still the number 6 team in the country after this because we hung around for a while. But I'm going to pick 4 different teams around college football and see if you believe they are better, worse, or maybe I'll give you the we're in the same tier option. No, I'm not going to do that. We'll do straight up better or worse if we played them. We got Red Hot Ice Cold. We got the drive of the game, helmet stickers, our Metro Ford of Madison college football scoreboard update, and then we will look ahead technically to the bye. We have an off week, and then it's Washington on November 8th at home. First takeaways, these dudes had motor. Like, they wanted to go out there and compete. They had something to fight for. I do wonder where that came from. Did it come from the reassurance, knowing, hey, Fickle's our guy? Like, he got the vote of confidence from Chris McIntosh. We don't have to play out there timid, knowing we're 1 or 2 mistakes away from our head coach not having his job anymore. Did it come from Coach Lanning deciding to go onside kick at the beginning?
Yeah, firing him up.
Yeah, I made the comparison with you coming up the elevator going, okay, it feels like they're treating us like the little brother where you put the hand on the forehead and we don't have the wingspan to connect or retaliate. They did retaliate. They threw a couple jabs, technically a haymaker on an underthrown ball in the form of a touchdown. But Riley, I'm at least impressed with the effort because there have been times out there where it feels like whether it's nerves, whether it's the situation being too big, whether it's unpreparedness, the moment being too big for them, at least here, they rose up to the moment. They got some help from Mother Nature, too. It was a sloppy game, but I'm happy with how they played.
Yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree. And we were talking about that all the way through the first and second quarters. And there's been a lot made. Even Tim Brando mentioned certain podcasters, quote unquote, on the broadcast who are bashing Fickle for in-state recruiting. He could have just said our guys, Brad Nortman, Jim Rutledge, potentially.
Drop the Twitter handle.
That's who he was referring to.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot this week and this season has been made of Luke Fickle's recruiting. And we are going to talk about the quarterback position because he might not be able to recruit a quarterback. But, man, some of these freshman Fickle recruits were fantastic
Mason Posa today?
Mason Posa, Cooper Catalano, Gideon Atuka. Fickle guys that are young and look like building blocks. We heard a ton this offseason, starting with the running backs. Dylan Jones, Darion Dupree, how they were going to be the next great Badgers backs. That has not materialized whatsoever this year.
No.
But Gideon Atuka, man, he ran hard.
Yeah.
And the offensive line as well, 7th combination in 8 games for the Badgers. That's absurd. They haven't been able to get their footing whatsoever this season. They played well. You didn't see Hunter Simmons under too much duress. Not that they threw the ball that often, but they were creating holes for the backs to run through. Atuka was running hard. On the defensive side of the ball, Catalano, Posa were flying to the ball. Mason Reiger, not a fickle recruit, but a fickle transfer, came in from Louisville. He was playing his butt off today, had the sack on the first drive of the game. These guys came out with an energy, a tenacity. So if you want to look for the positives today, and if you want to look for a reason why Fickle should continue coaching this football team, it was that right there. They are severely out-talented today, and they came out with a chip on their shoulder, ready to duke it out with the 6th-ranked team in the country. And they played their asses off, which was so much more enjoyable to watch than what we've seen the past few weeks.
One of the best scoring offenses in the nation. I believe I heard them drop top 10 at the halftime show when it was 7-0 Oregon after they scored that late touchdown inside the 2-minute timeout? That's the terminology they used. Yeah. And one of the best scoring defenses in Oregon. So, I wanted to use that Michigan game as a barometer of, I know it's in there. I know this team has the fight and the tenacity and the ability to, whether it be cover the spread or just keep it relatively competitive and keep the optics of this program okay. I knew they had that in them. Michigan hasn't really impressed me the last couple of weeks. This is a legitimate top 10 football team, and we made them play down, and we played up to them.
Yeah, and Oregon, I mean, they have everything to lose. Here, they were coming off a bye week. Their last game was a loss at home to Indiana. It was their first home loss in I don't know how many games. I know it was a long home winning streak they had. But they lose to Indiana at home. Then they have a bye week. And then for Wisconsin to show up after Oregon is well-rested, at home, ready to prove something after losing to a very, very good Indiana team, to come out with that kind of mettle, and when you don't score, it's hard to say they threw the first punch. But getting that turnover on downs right after the onside kick really felt like the first punch thrown in the game. And to come out and do that was awesome. It was great to see. And something, we haven't seen yet really this season. So it's just very hasn't been a lot to be optimistic about this season. That effort was something to be proud about and something to look kindly on in what has been a really rough season and what ended up still being a pretty rough game.
It truly felt like week after week for about the last month, we just kept getting lower. We'd use the term rock bottom and then go, you proved me wrong. We're actually not at rock bottom.
Quarterback play somehow keeps going down.
That's bad.
Everything else I say hasn't, but quarterback play for sure.
That's been tough. But I remember not so long ago, Riley, the Maryland game where this team was down 3 possessions going into halftime. The chants were raining in, the Fire Fickle chants at Camp Randall. And we're looking at other, I don't want to say nobody teams, but lower tier teams keep up with top 10 powers and go, man, I just want to be in the fight against someone. We can't even beat Maryland right now, who ended up being decent so far. They've kind of come back down to earth. We got that today. We genuinely got that. This team's playing up against a team that I would say is teetering around, more likely than not to be in the CFP in some capacity.
Yeah.
And it was 0-0 with 2 minutes left in the first half. I believe you said it was Evan Flood on Twitter that said, Wisconsin's winning 0-0 after 1 quarter.
After 1 quarter, Badgers lead Oregon 0-0.
That's what it felt like. Folks, if you are looking for a reliable roofing and home construction company in Wisconsin, look no further than Badgerland Exteriors. They are here to help. Residential and commercial, roofing, siding, and solar, Badgerland Exteriors has you covered. Visit badgerlandexteriors.com to get started on your next project. The offensive output before today was historically bad after last week against Ohio State, which I had an interesting encounter with a couple of Ohio State fans in an elevator because I was in Columbus. We'll get to that in a moment. But after last week, the Badgers had been shut out in back-to-back weeks for the first time since 1977. We were a few minutes away from it being back-to-back-to-back weeks. I don't even want to roll back the history books and find out what the stat on that would have been. But before we go to break, the state of this program, I do think they took a step forward today. With the pieces that they have and the pieces that they have available to them healthy and out there on the field. I stepped into an elevator, and I went to Columbus, Ohio. So I actually went on the road.
Funny enough, while the
Buckeyes
came here.
So I went to a concert. Pablo Iglesias did a great job, more than just holding down the fort with you out there.
We had a fun
game.
show last week.
Yeah, it was a blast to listen to, right? I was making like the 6-hour drive out there. So I went to a concert, and while the game was going on, Ohio State's up 3-4 possessions at this point. I step into the elevator. I see a couple of Buckeyes fans. I am not wearing any Wisconsin stuff. I'm wearing whatever shirt I was going to wear to this concert. And unprompted, they start talking to me about the game. They're like, "Oh, Ohio State's looking pretty good," and I'm like, "Little do you know, I should have promoted the show."
You should actually tune into ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday Postgame show. You know I'm the host.
But so we've got elevator time, like 30 seconds before we go down to the bottom floor, and I go, I saw they were driving. What is it, 27-0? Is it 34-0 yet? And they're like, yeah, they're driving. And then they unprompted, without knowing I'm a Wisconsin fan, and that I do the show, go, I feel bad for the Badgers, man. And I go, yeah, do tell. They've got it pretty rough. Tough losing streak. They go, yeah, I thought Fickell was the guy. They've got one of the toughest schedules in college football. I don't know if they're going to get another win this year. Obviously, today wouldn't be one of the games that you circle, but it just seems like they have reached rock bottom, kind of what we've been talking about here. And I don't know. Maybe they'll take one from Washington. And they start off the cuff, like diving into our schedule. My 2 takeaways from that, Riley, were A, you guys know ball. Like, for not following this team and just being another team in conference. I guess if you're rooting for the Natty Champs, you've got to be locked into college football, right? You have more investment, more of an incentive to follow it. But 2, again, without them even knowing I was a Badgers fan, they weren't talking crap about the Badgers. They were just going, I feel bad. I don't know when they're going to get a win again. That's kind of, they're not going in a good direction. And they love Luke Fickell over there.
I respect that they care for their own, for sure. And that reminds me of the Alabama fans I talked to down in Tuscaloosa. Like, they know football.
Yeah.
They knew, the fans that I talked to knew Wisconsin inside and out when we came down to play them back when we thought Danny O'Neal was going to be the truth.
Oh, way back when.
Back when we thought we had some answer at quarterback, but we never have an answer at quarterback. That's
too much to ask for
another
apparently.
Segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, they know football. They care for their own in Luke Fickell, and no one. I thought Dan Lanning today was going to come out, and I don't think he respected Wisconsin, but there wasn't as much animosity towards Wisconsin as maybe I would have hoped after we kept it so close last season.
Yeah.
No one fears the Badgers for sure. No one respects the Badgers right now. Everyone just pities the Badgers. And that's how it is until they can put points on the board, put more points on the board, and take, even if it's not a game against Ohio State and Oregon, you got to win something. At this point, I feel like this season would be a success if you just beat Minnesota and get the axe. Owen Dimple, our producer, was talking about it earlier today during the game. I talked with, I believe, Hunter Vaughn about that yesterday. 3-9 and the axe feels like a rousing success for this team with how poorly this season has gone. And right now, the Badgers don't deserve anything other than pity.
Yeah.
Right now, it sucks, and there have been a lot of comments in the YouTube channel about how the team, they played for each other today. Parker Dutcher, I'm stealing that phrase from him.
Yep. And I believe they did.
Yes, they came out to play today, and they haven't. Fickell has not lost this locker room, which I think is a stark contrast to the past 2 seasons, where it felt like, especially last season,
felt like they were checked out.
A little bit the year before, but at least the guys on the field were dialed in today. There were a lot of guys, a lot of players on the injury report today.
Yes.
And that gives me pause. That makes me wonder if the coaching staff was like, hey, if you don't want to play, if you're banged up, and I don't want to assume anything, don't play.
Yep.
You're good. These guys want to play.
The guys that I am putting on the football field are going to play with their hair on fire.
Yes, and the guys that played today wanted to play.
Played with their hair.
They looked like they wanted to be Wisconsin Badgers. They were proud to carry that motion W, which, despite the loss, I love to see.
And one of the big reasons for the loss is, of course, we're celebrating 7 points because we haven't scored in a while. We're going to talk about the onside kick a little bit more. What Dan Lanning doing that says about Oregon's respect or lack thereof of this offense. And we are going to have a Carter Smith conversation because there's already comments talking about his eligibility. Why would you burn the redshirt year? We will address that because they unlock something after the bye week against Washington if Wisconsin were to go in that direction. That is on the other end of the break, taking your texts, taking your calls on 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Lists is more. We talk onside kick. We talk Carter Smith, maybe. Coming up next here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
'Tis the season to be planning your holiday events. Whether it's a party for 10 or 10,000, Celebrations has the sound, video, lighting, special effects, and custom-themed decor to make it the best party ever. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With us on your team, your Halloween, holiday, or New Year's party will be easy to plan and super fun to attend. DJs, casino games, lighting, and photo booths are just the beginning at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Game Day in Wisconsin calls for a big play. The Big Dinner Box from Pizza Hut. 2 medium one-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks, all for just $19.99. That's enough for you to feed your whole lineup and the fans before kickoff. Hand-tossed, pan, thin and crispy, even tavern style. Pizza Hut has something for every seat in the stadium. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Fuel your game day with the Big Dinner Box. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
I can live with a Wisconsin program that gets 8 or 9 wins, loses to the top 20 teams, but beats your rivalry games out of 2 out of the 3. But how it is currently right now, it's hard to live with the idea of getting trounced by teams that you should be.
The Jump Around, outfitted by Iron Jock Apparel, with guests presented by Steinhoffels, streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Milwaukee, it's officially time for October baseball. The energy is electric, the city is buzzing, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Carbless. Carbless is the ready-to-drink cocktail that keeps fans cheering. No sugar, full of flavor, and always refreshingly delicious. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, celebrating downtown, or gathering with friends at home, Carbless is your go-to for every big hit, every clutch play, and every Brewers moment. So crack open a Carbless, raise it high, and toast to October baseball in Milwaukee, because nothing goes better with a big stage in baseball than finding your bliss. Visit drinkcarbless.com and see where Carbless is located nearest to you.
Buying a new vehicle should be exciting, and that's what Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb aims to do. That's why they vow to give you the better buying experience. Jim Rutledge here. I've had 3 better buying experiences at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, and I keep on going back because the experience and the Chevy is fantastic. So if you're looking for a buying experience you're going to want to repeat anytime you need a new or new-to-you vehicle, I recommend you make the short drive out to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, because you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
And we welcome you back to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light here on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels on 100.5 ESPN Madison and on the new customizable ESPN Wisconsin app. Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Well, stop. Now is the time to get housed, because for over 30 years, Bruner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's Bruner Realty Inc. Go and get housed at Bruner Realty. Cory Sparks, Riley Jauch, Owen Dimpfel here with you in the Everlight Solar Studios. And we are reacting to the 21-7 loss in Eugene to Oregon, where Wisconsin put up their first touchdown in 15 quarters. Where's your banner? Where's your banner, Riley?
We're hanging the banner. We're hanging the banner. Scored a touchdown. Week 9, 2025. Hang it. It's going in the rafters of Camp Randall next to all the Rose Bowl appearances. We did it.
In the midst of your creation of that, it was so funny. You did a double take. You're like, Cory, is it week 9?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Week 9.
Is it really?
It's been a little bit.
It is sad, though, how quick this season's going. Yeah. Obviously, it's been, I was about to swear there, an atrocious.
I've gotten close to that a couple times on the show.
It's been a horrible, crappy season for the Badgers this year. But, man, it's flying by, and I still don't want it to be over soon. Would I like to see a better product soon? Yes.
Yep.
But I have a, as probably most of the 58 people watching on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, like just a toxic relationship with the Badgers where you keep getting your heart ripped out over and over and over again, but you still go back because you love them so much and you're just a fool in love.
I can fix it.
And that's, exactly.
I could fix them.
That's all of us.
One of the reasons that the last few weeks has hurt so much has been the offense. The defense has been honestly a bright spot. They were the, put a little asterisk next to it, best rushing defense in college football going into the Michigan game. Obviously, there was not a ton of great competition going into that contest. But from a yards per carry perspective, they were doing great. Got a little torn up in the second half today. I love the push and the surge that we saw from that front line. I thought the boys in the trenches did a really good job on both sides of the ball. But I want to talk about the onside kick. Not only because I think that is so Dan Lanning, and you nailed it going into it. You're like, he's going to want to take it to us. And I think he did want to take it to us. And without much argument, really didn't take it to us. They won 31-point dogs. You didn't really take it to us today. But, Riley, that onside kick, let's go through the two outcomes. The first one that happened, they did it very well.
Yes.
They recovered it. The second outcome is one that I don't think Lanning and I don't think Oregon cared to risk. They didn't care that they were risking that outcome, and that's Wisconsin gets the football around midfield. Yep. They are saying at the time, you have not scored a touchdown in 11 quarters. I dare you to get 20 yards here. I dare you to get 50 yards here. I dare you to score after getting shut out in back-to-back games for the first time since 1977. They did that because they knew even if that went wrong, more times than not, the onside kick goes wrong even when the other team doesn't expect it. It is such a hard play to execute. They knew worst case scenario, Wisconsin was not going to score.
Yeah.
That's why they did that.
Yeah.
That's sad.
You nailed it. You hit the nail on the head.
That's sad.
And we talked about respect last segment. And I honestly, now thinking about it as a whole, is there a ton of respect for the team? Not really. Is there respect for the Badgers' defense? Yes, I believe. Is there any respect whatsoever for this Wisconsin offense? No. There is zero respect for the offense. And you know why? It's because of one man. And his name is Hunter Simmons. Hunter Simmons.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
I'm sure he's a great guy. He is a disgrace to the position of quarterback.
That's something you say, by the way, when someone's not a great athlete. You go to their personality and you go, I'm sure he's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd get a beer with him.
I'm sure he's very nice.
I'd get a Coors Light with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd love to hang out with them.
Yep.
But golly, I do not want him quarterbacking the Wisconsin Badgers. 7 for 21, 86 yards, a touchdown, a pick, a completion percentage of 33%. And that's honestly a lot better than it looked like.
He ended strong.
The stat line was going to look. He was 1 for 13 with 12 yards.
And he wasn't throwing the ball on the field.
At one point. These weren't hard passes. Everything was a tick off, a tick high,
behind.
Tick behind. Exactly. Yep. Nothing was dialed in, and I get it's wet, but Dante Moore completed 9 of 15. Brock Thomas, the backup, went 4 for 4, and he made some tougher throws. Did he get bailed out on the one that went right through Emilio Agard's hands? Yes.
But
that's Wisconsin.
Make a play, man.
That's Wisconsin in a nutshell this season. I don't need to get into that. But when you have as many incompletions as passing yards, that is a major problem.
Get out. Get off the field.
That cannot happen.
Yeah.
This is a Big Ten football team.
It's horrible. And, yeah.
Give me any other quarterback in the country right now, and I'd be more confident. Give me Braden Locke again. Yeah. I think we drew the line. Maybe Matoyer. No,
Matoyer is. I don't want. I saw one Sam Houston low light earlier, and I said, "Yeah, it's all right. You go have fun over there with Phil Longo."
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
but
don't need to go there. But there's a lot of QB. There's over 100.
Yes, and let's just look at the Big Ten. I did a little research. Who's right at the bottom, right in the cellar with Wisconsin right now at the bottom of the Big Ten? Purdue.
Yep.
Also 0-5 in the Big Ten. So I'm like, okay, who's their quarterback? Their quarterback probably sucks too, even though Purdue is hanging around with teams better than Wisconsin has this season. So Hunter Simmons. Let's take a look at his stats first before we go to unnamed Purdue quarterback. Hunter Simmons, in one season at Wisconsin, coming into today, this is not counting his master class of 86 yards and 7 completions with a TD and a pick. Coming into today, had 383 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions with a completion percentage of 54.9.
And that went down today.
Yes, it did, by a lot. 39 for 71. He's now at, 46 of 92.
Yeah.
That's stellar. He's now...
It's good math by you.
Thank you. Like right at 50%. Yep. Now let's take a look at Ryan Brown, the quarterback for the Purdue Boilermakers. This is his 3rd season at Purdue. He's a redshirt sophomore. Hunter Simmons, a redshirt senior, by the way, for context. In 7 games as Purdue's starter, he has 1,500 yards, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions as well. Completion percentage of about 60%.
That's literally Braden Locke.
Is that good?
Yeah.
No. But it's like you said, Braden Locke, 50-50, just over, I guess 60% is a little better. He was
like in the mid-50s last year, if I remember right.
Yes, but touchdown-interception ratio, about 50%.
Yep.
He's had 2 games this season throwing over 300 yards. Like, give us Ryan Brown, and the Badgers at the bare minimum are right in this game.
They might have won the game.
And they might have won.
Yeah.
Like, that is just the dregs that Wisconsin is at right now, the dire situation Wisconsin is in at quarterback right now. Anyone, and I mean just about anyone, would give Wisconsin a better chance to win right now than Hunter Simmons. And that includes Danny O'Neill. We had a question from one of the YouTube commenters asking if there's been an injury. And from what I have gathered going to Fickell's press conferences, someone asks about the quarterback situation every week. He says he never names a starter at the start of the week. He just says Billy isn't available and that there's going to be a competition. Carter Smith has a shot. Danny O'Neill has a shot. Hunter Simmons has a shot. Never says anything. And usually the starting quarterback appears at player availability on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The past 3 weeks, we have not gotten a quarterback at player availability. So it seems like it's an open competition. And how, in God's name, does Hunter Simmons win the weekly competition or gets the most reps at QB1 is beyond me.
That's actually, if that is truly the approach they are going with, that might be the most baffling part of what we saw today. That's the guy who won through reps over practice, not Yamamoto, who's on the screen now.
I was going to say, I was like, is he on the TV right now?
I bet he could sling the pill.
Yeah, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Would he be the guy that...
Look at how hard he can throw. He can throw.
He can indeed throw. 844-770-3776. Would another Big Ten quarterback, any other starting Big Ten quarterback right now, slot in and give the Badgers a decent chance to win this game. We do want to hear from you. That is 844-770-3776. The Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line lists more. Quickly before we go to break, it is becoming very clear that we are sick of Hunter Simmons. I'm sure he's a great guy.
Yes.
This is no indictment on the person.
Nope.
This is simply someone who played for the Salukis for a couple of years and played for the Salukis for about 160 passing attempts. This is not even an everyday starter. This is not even one of those. I mean, they're Division I. Sometimes there's those Division II quarterbacks who get a lot of reps and they go up and it's, he's thrown the ball like 1,000 times. So you got a decent amount of reps in there at the college football level. He hasn't played a lot of college football.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like this is a Mark Gronowski, Iowa situation.
No, so I am now ready, and I saw a couple of comments on this, so I'll explain the whole thing. I'm ready for Carter Smith. I want him 2 weeks from now to be starting against Washington after the bye. 3 reasons I think it's a good idea. 1, eligibility. Student athletes, as of 2018, can participate in up to 4 games. There are 4 games left now in the regular season without burning their red shirt for the season. He would not lose his eligibility if he played the rest of the year now. He's right inside that sweet spot. Number 2, he gets the bye week to prepare, plenty of time to dive into film, and much like the Michigan game, Luke Fickell does not have to disclose that information until literally 90 minutes before. He can say what he wants at media availability. You can start to pick up the little Easter eggs in practice. Oh, I've noticed Carter Smith's getting a little more 1 reps, but he does not have to tell anyone, and Smith gets literally 2 full weeks starting right tonight if he wants to dive into Washington film to prepare for that game. 3, our producer Owen Dimful brought this up, it's a home game. You're not tossing him into the big house. You're not tossing him into like an Ohio State or an Indiana, and you're not fully shell-shocking him against one of those powers. Washington's a lot better than I thought they were going to be this year. When we were playing the schedule game preseason, I was like, that might be one of the 6 or 7. Again, those were the days. I think this is a great opportunity to plop him in and say, let's see what the kid can do. We're not burning his eligibility. He gets plenty of time to prepare. It's at home, and it's still quite the gauntlet the rest of the way. It's one of the easier, more gettable opponents, if there are any left, for him to go out there and get some valuable reps.
Yeah, totally agree. And then
I'm ready, Riley.
Yes, and your away games are at Indiana. That you're going to get
shell shock him.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep.
Okay. Have him take his lumps, but then home, like you said, home against Illinois, and then you get to end the season at Minnesota, probably the least intimidating environment in the Big Ten, TCF Bank Stadium. Minnesota sucks.
They look bad today.
They're just Wisconsin with an easy schedule. Credit to Dr. Marte for that take. They're just Wisconsin with an easy schedule. Like, the Axe is as good as ours, I would say. They got absolutely shellacked by Iowa today, 41-3. Exactly. You look at some common opponents. They lost to Iowa, or they lost to Ohio State. Yeah. I think also same score, 41-3. And then Iowa, 41-3. And then you look at Wisconsin, 34-0, 37-0. I'm just saying, Wisconsin a couple points better than Minnesota. Carter Smith, he'll have figured out the offense by that point.
I will take a Carter Smith-led offense if he is everything he's supposed to be as a 4-star recruit against Minnesota.
And let him make those freshman mistakes this season.
It's low leverage.
Bring him into next year. And if he shows that effort, those flashes that we've seen from a Cooper Catalano, that we've seen from a Mason Posa, that we've seen from a Gideon Atuka, Badgers fans, even a 3-9 season with the Axe, there's a little bit of hope.
We can salvage something.
There's something.
Yeah.
There's something
Split
there.
the rivalry games, baby, and get Carter Smith out there. Again, eligibility, it would work out just fine that way. He would be inside the 4-game parameter that the NCAA, the Division I committee, actually set in 2018.
Yeah, and it can't be worse than what we've seen.
But there's this low-risk environment. Just do it against Washington. I just want to see something. It literally can't be worse, and I'm going to throw that out there again. We've done that a few times this year, and it's gotten worse in various disciplines, but I'm going to take that risk again. Folks, Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition of working in the best interest of their clients every single day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believes that values matter and strengthen their communities. At Canopy, it's care, competence, and clarity. That's not just a tagline, it is a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. Do you want to see Carter Smith, now knowing what I just said, 2 weeks from now against Washington? 844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. When we come back, does Braden Locke win this football game today? That's going to be a fun conversation. We can't wait to have it. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday Postgame Show, brewed by Coors Light.
Postgame reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Bucket Honeys is Best of Madison. A huge thank you to everyone who voted in this year's Best of Madison Awards presented by Madison Magazine. Bucket Honeys is beyond grateful to have won gold for Best Restaurant, Best Catering, Best Outdoor Dining, and Best Bartender with Dion Russ in Monona. We could not do it without our loyal guests who support us every single day, and of course, our amazing team members who celebrate Wisconsin hospitality with pride. From all of us at Bucket Honeys, thank you, and I'll see you at Bucket Honeys.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
They have to get better at, knocking people out. This isn't a case where your team doesn't have the talent to land some absolute uppercuts. And when you let teams hang around in this league, crazy stuff can happen.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Love Rogers.
He wants to remind everyone what a truly elite MVP caliber quarterback looks like.
React to the big showdown in Pittsburgh on Green Bay Game Night, Sunday night right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Am 21-7. Oregon takes this matchup against Wisconsin. The Ducks, number 6 in the country, improved to 7-1, 4-1 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin falls to 2-6. That is 6 losses in a row. 0-5 in the Big Ten, but they were close. They were close throughout the entirety of the first half. Oregon then scored a couple of touchdowns in a row, put the game out of reach, at least with the offense Wisconsin is currently operating with. we got a touchdown at the end there, which was nice to see because it's been a little while since we've seen that. Cory Sparks, Riley Jauch here with you in the Everlight Solar Studios, reminding you that with Celebrations Entertainment, planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, that's fun, memorable events for you and your group. 844-770-3776 is the cardless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We have our buddy Eric in Green Bay on the line. Eric, how are you today?
Doing well, all things considered. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I'm happy with what I saw. How are you feeling about the game as a whole? I know it's a loss. I know the whole moral victories thing, but Wisconsin hung in there today, man.
Yeah, I think I used the term whelmed earlier in the year, and it's kind of one of those things. Like I was reflecting about with the Oregon game last year when they were ranked number 1 coming into Camp Randall, and at that point we lived in this fallacy that like our floor was like a 6-win team. Like right, we hadn't lost a bowl streak yet.
Yeah.
And I remember that 4th down conversion that Dylan Gabriel had kind of rolling to his left, and it like that was one of those like I was losing sleep just thinking about like what if we made one of these 3 or 4 plays, like that game was there against the number 1 team in the country, and like what that could have meant for the program as far as like a statement win. And now, we're happy covering the spread against Oregon on a rainy day. So just wild what a year makes. So I kind of wanted to weigh in on the Carter Smith thing, and just I guess maybe for the point of conversation, because I had been asked this a lot too. And as far as like why you wouldn't play him at this point in time, and I still think you should, but looking at this team and with Billy Edwards, possibly don't want to just make the assumption that he's not good, like health wise, is he just kind of holding out, getting ready to transfer, and saving his eligibility.
It has that feeling
don't really
to it.
Know what's going on with it's the situation that you guys alluded to. It's perplexing. Like, obviously, if we're seeing the film that Hunter Simmons is putting out there, okay, why wouldn't you try Daniel Neal after halftime, despite what you may see in practice? Like, is there more going on there? And it seems like this quarterback room right now is so fragile. My fear is that if you put out Carter Smith with the situation that we currently have out there in 2025, and, he puts up Hunter Simmons-esque performances, do other teams then try to poach him? It's tricky because if you don't play him, right, then he might look elsewhere too. But if he kind of stinks it up in Wisconsin, and then someone, another program comes calling and says, "This is what your future is in the Fickle era. We'll offer you this much in NIL and get out of there." How do you? I'm at this point too. I'm afraid of just breaking the guy, because I don't see how anybody can have success, let alone a true freshman right now. So I still think it's worth the risk. I think you got to put him in there, but wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth the risk too, and I'm almost worried about the opposite.
He does too good.
That he does very well, and then maybe they beat Minnesota. They win the Axe. They go 3-9, and then another school, because he was committed to Michigan until Bryce Underwood came. A bigger SEC, Big Ten school is like, hey, we know you have the talent. You don't want to be in that situation with a coach who may get fired, who people don't like, in a stadium that doesn't get filled up anymore. You're too good for that program. Let's come get you out. I'd say that's my biggest worry with playing Carter Smith the last 4 games, that he does too well. And we had a YouTube commenter bring this up, Parker Dutcher, the banged up O-line. This is their 7th combination in 8 games. They played well today, but you get him back there, and Billy's been hurt. Danny O'Neal was hurt at one point this season. Don't know his status injury-wise right now. But then you get him banged up, and you needlessly sort of hinder his career. Say he tears an ACL or something, then he's got to recover all offseason, not ready for next year to play. That would be worry number 2. I don't think you can really take that into consideration, because every quarterback's gotten hurt. It doesn't matter who the offensive line is the past 3 seasons. The quarterback just gets hurt. So I don't think you can go into it with that mindset. But I'm on the flip side. Those are my concerns right now with the Badgers starting Carter Smith the last 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only concern for me though too is like if he was QB4 to start the year, and I know some of the comments that Stick and company are making in the off season were that he was just kind of having Carter Smith was having a slower time adjusting and kind of get like. At the same time, it's like, how has he not even gotten to the level of QB3 on the depth chart coming into this point? Unless they were really just shooting for, red shirt or nothing. But I agree. You can't, there's so many, it's an unfortunate era of college football where you're worried, like, if a player doesn't play enough or does poorly, he's going to leave. If he does do good, he's going to leave. And unfortunately right now, I don't know if it's training staff or coaching decisions or what, but obviously with, twice putting Billy Edwards out there with a suspect knee, Van Dyke last year getting hurt wearing a brace too. You got to wonder if teams do come, try and poach any quarterback from the team eventually, like, is that something they're saying is like, they're not going to, they don't know how to look after your health. Maybe it's not intentional. It can't be intentional, but they're just doing such a bad job with that.
Yeah.
And you might, look at tough. Brady Collins, the strength and conditioning coach. We did talk about him a little bit last week. Like, at what point when you have 15, I think they may have had over 20 guys on the injury report today. It was ridiculous where that's a serious problem. And, just the transactional nature of college football now. Nick Saban had a really good diatribe on it this morning on College Game Day about how that has changed college football. It's scary. It's a risk, but right now, Fickell and company, they have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain, as in saving his job, saving all of their jobs. All these guys are tied to Fickell.
Keeping guys in Wisconsin even if he ends up doing well, right?
Yes, and getting, having the building blocks for the future, saving his job and potentially building Wisconsin back to what it was and hopefully a little bit better. So I think it's a risk you just have to take.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much for the call, brother.
You bet. Take care.
All right. Awesome stuff. I do want to hear more from you guys. 844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. List is more. That's another conversation. What are the pros and what are the cons of putting Carter Smith out there? My main con that was in the back of my head is you're never wasting eligibility with reps. But if you're around that 5-6 game scenario where the season is all but lost from making a bowl or making a run to the CFP perspective, which obviously has been out of the realm of possibility for a little bit here.
I'd love to get back in those conversations.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Just get some ranked votes, man, and work your way up from there. But for Carter Smith, you truly do have that nice little sweet spot where you got a couple of games coming up. Some are gettable, some are not, where he can put some good tape out there. And it's weird to hope for this, but Riley, I don't know where you're at on this before we go to break. I am almost hoping if we put Carter Smith in there against Washington for 4 games, he makes enough mistakes that schools aren't picking up the phone going, he's ready, plug him in.
Yep.
But he also shows enough promise that us Wisconsin fans can go, there's something there. No offense to Hunter Simmons, we've seen what we need to see. Yep. Right, his college career is on the, it's basically the sun is setting on his college career. He's coming towards the end of his eligibility and all of that, and he's a redshirt senior. For Carter Smith, you want to see those flashes where you go, ooh, get him developed, get him a firm offensive line that hopefully we aren't having the injuries we've had this year, and get him in sync with a few wide receivers, a good run game to complement, build that play action up from there, whatever Tressel wants to do. But if I'm a Wisconsin fan and I see Carter Smith out there, I want to see the flashes, but don't go light the world on fire because people will come calling.
Yeah, and I don't know if Wisconsin won. I know Chris McIntosh said he's going to invest more money into the football program.
We don't know how much.
But it's certainly not a guarantee that if he lights the world on fire, like you said, that Wisconsin can afford him.
Yeah.
In the future, but right now that is best case scenario for Carter Smith. Like you said, want to see those flashes, just want to see something, and the confidence, the drive, the tenacity that we saw from a lot of the young guys today. Even if he struggles, if he can stand tall figuratively and not let the moments rattle him, where we see enough like this could be a future leader in the clubhouse, a future leader of this team, a building block, like we've said so many times tonight. That's what I want to see.
Real quick answer from you. Does Braden Locke win this football game today?
It's a great question, Corey. No, I don't think he does. I think he
Are we in it?
I think we're in it.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's 21-14. It's similar to last season.
Yeah.
A very similar game to last season where one too many Braden Locke mistakes sink the Badgers. But
Okay.
I think he would have also had more big moments, or at least serviceable moments, where they would have drove the ball down the field and scored a few more times.
He would have taken some shots. I like that take. You've got a final drive where you can tie it or win the game, and he made enough mistakes to where I think it's fair to be skeptical that he would go down and execute and pull off the colossal upset that we've been looking for the past few years. You mentioned NIL. You mentioned saving money. He might become more expensive. Folks, you at home can save money and save the planet by ditching the energy bill and making the switch over to Everlight Solar. They are your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Let's play a game. When we come back, it's called Better Than Bucky. I have picked out 4 different college football teams that I believe are around the same tier as Wisconsin in this state. With 4 games to go in the 2025 season, you could play with us on the other end of the break. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Attention, business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Don't be haunted by high prices this Halloween. Metro Ford of Madison has frightfully good deals waiting just for you. Right now, drive home the all-new 2025 Ford F-150 or F-150 STX. Or escape the ordinary in a 2025 Ford Escape, both with just 2.9% APR for up to 66 months. Only $16.41 per month for $1,000 finance. But hurry, these scary good offers vanish November 3rd. Visit MetroFordOfMadison.com today, where the deals are a treat, never a trick.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison is throwing the Halloween party of the year. Join the fun Friday, October 31st at our Halloween Bonanza costume contest. We're giving away $6,000 in cash prizes at our 9 p.m. drawing. But get creative because the better the costume, the bigger the prize. You'll also enjoy a DJ, a free photo booth, a treat bag with a free drink ticket, plus $10 in rewards play when you arrive wearing a costume. Bring your Halloween spirit to
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
When it's game day in Madison, you know what that means. Pizza Hut time. Unlimited large one-topping pizzas, just $7.99 each. Or your team at home can load them up with 3 toppings for $9.99. Perfect for kickoffs, watch parties, or that fourth quarter comeback from your living room. Fuel your crew, fill the table, and keep the good times rolling all game long with Pizza Hut. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my great friends at Door County Distillery. Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. It's the best time of the year. It's bourbon season. Weather outside getting a little chilly, but you can stay warm with a delicious glass of the Door County Distillery bourbon. Or check out Door County Distillery exclusives like their cherry bourbon and their bat bourbon. It's bat good. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
The Don has spoken.
You just can't sit back and say, we need this, we need that. Get out in the state. Let the people meet you and sell the program. Know who you are.
Listen to The Barry Alvarez Show, Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
(21-7) the final as Oregon takes down Wisconsin. The Badgers fall to 2-6, but a lot of positives to draw away from today's performance. Cory, Sparks, Riley Jauch here with you in the Everlight Solar Studios at 100.5 ESPN Madison. We are also live on the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels and on the ESPN Wisconsin app. 844-770-3776 is the cardless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. Riley, we have a new game today, but first, you could play a lot of fun games at Ho-Chunk Gaming in Madison. That's where winners go. That is Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. Go be a winner at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. They're open right now, and they stay open until 2 a.m. on a Monday. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun.
Go hit that video blackjack.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Win
probably my
some
favorite.
money tonight.
That's probably my favorite.
I like video blackjack. It screws me over every time.
You at least feel like you have control, though? Like, all right, I'll hit.
Yeah, there's a tiny bit. You're guaranteed to lose. But there's like that little bit of hope, which keeps you playing. That's gambling.
There we go.
Anyways, continue.
Badgers gave us a little bit of hope
They
today.
did.
So we are going to play a game. I was thinking of this before the game started. I was like, if the Badgers pull off the upset, I throw this guy out the window. And that wasn't out of the realm of possibility for a couple of quarters there.
It was a fun thought through almost a half of football. It was really fun.
But because Dan Lanning and his squad decided to go out there with an opening onside kick that was successful, went out and beat the Badgers 21-7, and the Badgers are now 2-6. We are going to play a game called Better Than Bucky. So I went around college football, Riley, and I picked 4 different teams, various conferences, various forms of college football, and you're going to tell me whether you think they're better or worse than Wisconsin. You don't know who these teams are, so I'll give you the spark notes on them, if you will. We begin with Montana State. 5-2 entering today.
That's a good one.
FCS power. Everything has a relation to Wisconsin. Here's this one. 27.5-point dogs against Oregon. The line closed at 31.5-point dogs for Wisconsin against Oregon today. Montana State did lose 59-13 to the Ducks earlier this season. Better or worse than Bucky? Montana State.
Yeah, I know Montana State, one of the best in the FCS. I highly respect the FCS. I love that mountainous region, that Rocky Mountain region of football. You got the Grizz, you got the Bobcats, you got North Dakota, you got South Dakota State. There was the marker game today between NDSU and SDSU. Love that.
Big rivalry.
However, I still don't think Montana State is better than Wisconsin. I think the talent would out in that game, and I think it might be similar to Wisconsin versus Miami of Ohio. It might be a 17-0 type game where it's close in the second half, but I don't see the Bobcats beating the Badgers. Give me one for the Badgers.
All right, so they are not better than Bucky. It's funny you mentioned Miami of Ohio because this next team has a connection to them. We go to the FBS. Ohio, the Bobcats, 5-2 overall, 3-1 in the MAC. If you remember Miami of Ohio from week 1, which clearly you do.
I do.
They were the 2024 MAC runners-up to the Ohio Bobcats. Strong performance from this team, especially in their own postseason bracket. Ohio, better or worse than Bucky?
I still... it's tough. Is it more difficult? I know Ohio... I would certainly rather have Ohio's quarterback than Hunter Simmons right now. I forget his name. I remember Timothy Chalamet made a big deal about the quarterback for the Ohio Bobcats ahead of the MAC championship game last season. I need to look up his name, and maybe I'll do that while you tell me about the next team. However, I still think Wisconsin is better than every team in the MAC. Would they struggle with some teams in the MAC? If they played a MAC schedule, would they go undefeated this season? Probably not. But as a whole, this squad, even with all the injuries, I still think is able, even with Hunter Simmons, is able to get the job done against the Bobcats.
So remember
the
that
second Bobcats.
Yes. Remember that thing I told you about how everybody has a Wisconsin connection that I have in this list? So I broke my rule once. This team does not, but I think they're fun. North Carolina, the Fighting Bill Belichick's 2-5 this season, 0-3. Now we're in Group of 4 football. 0-3 in ACC play. They did take the 16th overall Virginia Cavaliers to overtime today. Lost 17-16 ultimately. The Tar Heels. Better than Bucky?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And Parker Navarro is the quarterback for the Ohio Bobcats. I wish we had Parker Navarro right now.
That would be nice.
Man, I think that would be a rock fight. UNC, this is one of the...
This is neutral playing field, by the way. I should have said that. Nobody gets the home game. So take that out of the way. In a vacuum.
Yeah, North Carolina and Wisconsin are very equivalent this season. And I would say college football-wise, North Carolina might be one of the only Power 4 schools with unequivocally worse coaching than Wisconsin, or has shown worse coaching than Wisconsin this year.
This one's tough.
This one's hard.
I don't know what my answer would be.
This one's hard. And I think this might just be my bias showing through. This could just be my bias. But I still think Wisconsin can win. I understand UNC played Virginia tough today, but Wisconsin played Oregon tough.
Yep.
Anyone can get up for one of these big games. Man, on a neutral site, though, like the way Wisconsin has been playing teams that are at its level, I don't think North Carolina is a better team than Wisconsin. But do they win a game on a neutral site this season? They probably do. So that was totally a hedge by me.
Good. Next, West Virginia. 2-6 overall, 0-5 in their conference, the Big 12. 37-24 loss to number 11 BYU. Here's the Wisconsin connection. Bit of a stretch. Remember that Ohio Bobcats team I just brought up? West Virginia fell to them 17-10 in early September.
Wow.
Obviously, the Bobcats beat Miami, Ohio. There's your transitive property extended. 41-10 loss to the Fighting Lance Leipold's former Wisconsin Whitewater Warhawks head coach earlier this season. West Virginia 2-6, 0-5 in conference. Better than Bucky?
No,
or worse?
No, they're not better than Bucky.
So.
Lance Leipold and Kansas lost bad. They lost big today to a pretty mediocre Kansas State team. Which may quell some of the Badgers fans clamoring for Lance Leipold to come take Luke Fickell's job. And West Virginia, I know this is one of the few programs where I know they're also having a lot of NIL issues right now. There are a lot of players. I think Pat McAfee talked about it this morning on College Game Day about how West Virginia, a donor backed out because he didn't want to pay for players who already had one foot out the door. I think the roster that the Badgers put on the field today is they don't have one foot out the door. They're 2 shoes in. They're 10 toes down. And they are better than the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Okay, so 4-0 against these teams. I did not do a great... These are close, but I didn't find anyone who's better.
No, they're not bad. Okay. They're close. Whoa, I knocked my headset off.
I have one more for you.
Yes.
Minnesota.
No.
Enough said.
Not even close.
3-2 in the Big Ten.
They have a better record than
Nebraska
Wisconsin.
last week.
They beat Nebraska. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
The Nebraska win was a good win
Game
for Minnesota.
Iowa was not.
But then they got pasted today by the Hawkeyes. So they're certainly not better than Bucky, that's for sure. And it doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter what I say right now.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to the day after Thanksgiving when the Badgers head to TCF Bank Stadium and finally put together a complete game performance and destroy the Minnesota Golden Gophers. It's going to be satisfying.
There we go.
It's going to be satisfying.
If it's 3-9, let that be the 3. All right, that is better than Bucky. We'll see if we bring that back. If Wisconsin changes our perception of where they are in the college football landscape, I'll bring it back. If they are where we think they are right now for the rest of the year, probably no point in doing so. We do want to give you a heads up that our friends at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle program during home games this football season. You can still take advantage of this for just $20. Get a Coors Light and a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse located off the Beltline on Rim Rock Road. When we come back, we begin the second hour of the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show, and we will begin it with Red Hot Ice Cold here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Rogers.
This is not a revenge game for me.
Love.
You know, we're not going against each other. We both want to come out with this win.
React to Sunday night's game in Pittsburgh on Green Bay Game Night on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon! And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers. Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Bringing in hour number 2 of the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is presented to you by our friends over at Coors Light. What do you need to refresh on game day? Choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment when the mountains are when the mountains are blue. Getting ahead of myself, you know what to do, Riley.
And that's Crush Coors Light.
Sorry. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I was zoned out.
You are good. Head spinning today. We scored.
Looking at too many defensive stats. getting prepared for red hot, ice cold.
And we will kick it to that now. This is the best and worst of today's 21-7 loss, but a valiant effort from Wisconsin. This is our segment we like to call Red Hot Ice Cold.
Ho was scorching.
Going to keep it himself, another rushing touchdown for Wisconsin. Pouring it on in Piscataway.
Who froze up?
Block from his end zone. It's picked off. Jalen Reed.
It's time to start adding Hunter Simmons interceptions.
I was going to say I miss Braden Locke.
It's time to play Red Hot, Ice Cold on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
He's got a fever.
I'd be red hot if we somehow re-landed Braden Locke for a nice little stint if we don't want to go with the Carter Smith experiment.
Yeah, no, I'm still good with Braden Locke. I was all in on Locktober.
That was fun.
That 5-2, man, that feels like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Badgers were 5-2. Locktober was in full swing.
Last Big Ten win was with him.
Yep. That's insane.
That's
a terrible thought.
That hurts
Northwestern.
to say out loud. Yeah.
Last time we had a 100-yard rusher, too.
We were almost there today.
23-3 win at Northwestern, Tawi Walker. It's been 13 games now.
Cincinnati now, right?
Yep.
Tawi Walker.
Yeah. Gideon Atuka got close today. He got very close.
85 yards. All right, red hot. I'll kick us off. Cory Sparks, Riley Jauch here with you in the Everlight Solar Studios on 100.5 ESPN Madison and ESPN Madison and Milwaukee's YouTube channels. Red hot. This is actually weird that I'm starting with this because Wisconsin put a good product out on the football field today relative to last performances.
Yes.
Oregon jerseys on Grateful Dead night were sick. It was like the clipping mask green with the texture. I thought the fans really got into it. They took the tarps off at the end, which you and I have, I think, about the same feelings on that. You didn't really earn that, but whatever.
No. You're winning. You don't need to go tarps off. I love
supposed
that.
To win. Storm the field while you're
tarps
at it.
off is a movement. Right now it's really fun, but you're winning. Just enjoy the good football team you have.
But those jerseys were sick.
They were.
Effort for Wisconsin was remarkable. That needs to be the common denominator today. This team stuck with the number 6 team in the country, someone who's in that college football playoff landscape right now, a few weeks out from it, and Wisconsin literally stuck with them every step of the way. It's all about the last quarter there, and then the pick from Hunter Simmons was insult to injury. Effort was good. Effort was very good today.
Yes.
Red hot.
Totally agree. For my red hot today, I'm going, and you can take this both ways. In-state defenders. Specifically, the defensive players on the field, but also maybe if you're a defender, that Luke Fickell should do more in-state recruiting.
Yes.
Let's take a look. You have Mason Posa led the defense in tackles,
awesome.
13 solo. He's from Arizona. Fantastic wrestler they mentioned on the halftime show today. But the next 3 defenders, the next 3 leaders of this defense today, Matt Young, the former Nina Rocket transfer this past season. He had 10 tackles, 4 solo. Then after that, you got Cooper Catalano, whose name was mispronounced several times today by Tim Brando.
Took them until like the third quarter, and then we finally got it. What were they saying? Catalano?
Catalano.
Catalano.
And he's also doing a foghorn leg. Tim Brando might be my ice cold. We'll get to that in a bit. Cooper Catalano, 8 tackles, 3 solo, had a pass breakup and a QB hurry. He was fantastic. Germantown, Wisconsin native. And then finally, right after him, you have Big Ben Barton from Stratford, a former Tiger. He had 8 tackles, 3 solo, a sack, and a tackle for loss. So the in-state fellas on the defense were awesome today. You love to see the Wisconsin products balling out.
Posa was flying around. We mentioned it in the first
awesome
segment.
as well.
The pass deflection in the backfield. There were a couple tip drill plays where I felt like a turnover was brewing. And again, we talk about that play, or how do you pull off the shock factor against a team that is levels above you from a talent perspective. You usually want to generate a turnover or two. Ice cold. I'm going to say, I hope this isn't stealing yours. If it is, I apologize. We could share it. Spotting the ball in the first half. I specifically have 11:36 left in the second quarter. The third down run for Atuka that was called 4th and inches when he clearly stretched across the offensive line. I can remember every bit of it without writing it down. He needed to get to the 42 and a half. The ball was stretched pretty much to the 42. They marked him at the 43 and a half, literally where his foot ankle was on the end of the play. Not only that, the initial call was 4th and inches. Luke Fickell had to burn a timeout because they didn't go upstairs with it. It was inconclusive, apparently. Let's just roll with it. He was short of a line to gain. Had to burn a challenge, and they upheld it. I'm not the ref guy. I'm not the person who usually goes, oh my gosh, we got robbed. And I don't think that changes the trajectory of who wins this game, but that was awful. Awful.
Yeah. And it was clear as day. He lunges fully extended. He was parallel with the ground. Knee does not touch. Like, the first thing to touch, I think, was his elbow with the football in it, probably at the 41.
What angle did
he
they
looked
see?
a full yard past the line to gain, and they didn't give it to him. Spotting the ball was a real challenge. And then they wanted to review getting Atuka barely getting out of the end zone. Did he get out of the end zone? Yes. Was it very close? Yes. Did it deserve a review? Probably. But they don't want to send his first run for a first down up to the booth.
No.
But then, maybe he got tackled in the end zone for a safety. Let's review that. Let's make sure. There was some interesting officiating today.
There was a screen pass where there was clear holding. I wish I could nail down exactly what it was. I think it was literally the first play from scrimmage in the second half that ended up being a huge pop pass for like 40, 50 yards, and that happened because of that. What was your ice cold today, sir?
My ice cold. The refereeing was certainly something to behold. The first run of the second half, that blatant holding call against Mason Reiger was terrible. That pissed me off. But I'm gonna go with Tim Brando. Tim Brando mispronouncing names, doing foghorn, leghorn impressions, which normally I'm a fan of.
So random,
but it was just so odd. His call today, it was just not my favorite. Let's just say that. And I think the biggest thing from Tim Brando, I can't believe I almost forgot this. He announces in the first quarter, Badgers running back Dylan Jones is out for the season. Out for the season. And then everyone obviously is freaking out like, oh my gosh, Dylan Jones.
I must have missed this.
Yeah, when was this reported? No one told us this. So Jake Kokorowski, fantastic reporter, goes and asks a Wisconsin official, is this true? Is Dylan Jones out for the year? And they respond, no. We never announced that he was out for the year. He's not out for the season. And that's just horrendous journalism, horrendous broadcasting. I will say, bad journalism on my part. Thank you, Evil Badger 72, for correcting me. I said Mason Post was from Arizona. He's actually from New Mexico.
Okay, sure.
New Mexico wrestling state champ. So thank you, Evil Badger. Bad journalism on me. And bad journalism by Tim Brando. Like, you can't just be making those
That is a bold
announcements
claim.
and then calling out Brad Nortman, not by name.
That was funny.
In the second quarter, that he had some fascinating
Podcasters was the term they used, right?
Podcasters.
Got it.
Yes, but it seems
It is I guess it is in the form of a podcast now. It's in the past.
Yep.
It was a live show at the time.
Kyle Breston Nortman, go back and listen on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Airs every weekday here in Madison from 2 to 4 weekdays, and in Milwaukee 2 to 5.
Which, by the way, they did a little wager in sync with how many points the Badgers scored. I'm going to try and remember all of them. I know for a fact that Brad Nortman's end of the deal on Kyle Breston Nortman was for every point the Badgers scored today, which was 7, he had to donate $1 to Wisconsin's NIL fund, which is going to be a $7 check with Brad Nortman, former punter's name written on it.
The running tally at 7 right now. For Brad Nortman. Jim Rutledge actually also had a little, not a wager per se, but sort of, he posed a question. pondering Wisconsin. I can't remember. I believe it was 2013 when they beat Indiana 83-20.
I saw this.
Starting with this game against Oregon, will the Badgers score 83 points the rest of the season? They are now down to 75 points to score in the last 4 games of the season now after putting up a touchdown today. With that performance, even with a win against Minnesota to end the season, I don't see 75 points in the next 4 games.
It would take a lot. You have to change what's going on under center or out of shotgun or whatever you're doing with your quarterback. Our amazing producer, Owen Dimful, gave me the full context. So for Kyle Bruss and Nortman, again, weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on ESPN Madison and across ESPN Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, their producer, has to do 70 seconds of planking on camera. Brad's donation of $7 to the NIL fund. Kyle, it was a half mile for the whole week, so he does get to stretch it out per point. He's got to log 3.5 miles. And Ben Bruss has to wear 7 layers of clothing.
Oh, that Ben
additional clothing. Additional clothing, yeah.
For one day?
Yeah, I think for the entirety of the show.
Oh, man.
If they didn't score, they had to fast until 5 p.m.
Okay. Wow.
so that didn't happen.
Okay,
they do get to eat in the morning.
But Ben, I think, got the worst of that.
What's the strat? Do you wear like multiple pairs of pants? I think the 7 shirts, I'm going to start like feeling a little like my neck's going to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, multiple pairs of underwear, I think. Maybe like a pair of leggings.
2 socks.
Yes.
2 extra socks.
Couple extra pair of socks. Maybe a hat. Okay, so every piece of clothing counts.
Okay.
Thank you, Owen. So that's not as bad.
Yeah.
Socks, shoes. Let's see. By that metric, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers on right now.
Yeah.
Throw an extra 3 on, throw a hat, something like that. That's doable.
It's getting chilly out too.
But I like these wagers. Should we start wagering?
We could
on Badgers points as well.
We could do the Bucky push-up thing every time.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, we have to do 7 push-ups or maybe like multiply it by like 3 to make it a little harder.
And then take it to social media. We'll sit on this. We have a bye week to think about it too.
We have a bye. I think this is a great question.
Brainstorming session loading.
Consider in the bye week, and we go from there.
What do you want to see us do? 844-770-3776.
Give us ideas. Give us some punishment ideas.
Pocket text line. Got to find a way to stay invested in the season. Wisconsin made it a lot easier to do that today because they did keep it closer with Oregon. They did score 21-7. It was a 0-0 ball game, by the way, with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Pizza Hut delivers a win every single time. They go undefeated. They're going 12-0 by the end of the year with the big dinner box, just $19.99. That's 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Feed the whole team for one unbeatable price. Find the nearest location or order online at pizzahut.com. Feed the good times only from the Hut. When we come back, we have our drive of the game presented to you by our friends over at Chalmers Jewelers. We will take a look at the Metro Ford of Madison College football scoreboard down the road as well. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris sit down with Bucks forward Bobby Portis. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
From the baseball playoffs to regular season football, Prize Picks is the best way to win cash watching our favorite teams. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Well, make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks now offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use that code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
It's going to cost more money to keep Luke Fickell than it will to fire him, because the damage he is doing to the program is going to get close to irreversible, or at least irreversible in a timeline Badger fans want. You can't keep Luke Fickell around anymore because he is the face of this.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias, outfitted by Iron Jauch Apparel, streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Hey, this is Jonathan Blackwell of Wisconsin Badgers basketball. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face.
Welcome back to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Cory Sparks, Riley Jauch hanging out here with you after the 21-7 loss to Oregon, who improves to 7-1. Wisconsin falling to 2-6. The Badgers get a bye before going up against Washington at home. The final third of the season on the horizon. Winners go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. Go be a winner at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. They're open right now and stay open until 2 a.m. on a Monday. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. And if you're going to grab certain aspects of this game and call them a win, I think one of the most appropriate ones from today is the drive of the game. And that would be brought to you by our friends at
on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The Badgers punctuating and pulling away.
The drive of the game is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers, helping guys score for more than 25 years.
I wouldn't have done it justice, but I was like, I can try and do big voice here.
Big voice, Cory.
Probably would need a little editing, but the drive of the game is brought to you by our friends over at Chalmers Jewelers. We're probably going to be in lockstep on this one. The first touchdown in a while. Feels like it deserves this award.
I would agree. Yeah. I would agree. Oh, this tape stuck to the floor. We got to bring the banner back. We scored a touchdown. What a drive. What a moment for Wisconsin football this year. It's really sad that we're at this point, but
we got to drive the game.
That's where we're at. We got to hang a banner for this. We got to appreciate this greatness when we see it.
It wasn't long ago, Riley, that we didn't have many options, and I gave you the drive of the game because you went to Tuscaloosa to watch the away game that Wisconsin scored in that one. At least.
Yeah, it is nice actually having one drive. It was actually
clear cut,
so uplifting, and brought me so much happiness to see the Badgers score a touchdown. That really, really brightened my mood until it was ruined. 5 minutes later, but whatever.
The details of your drive of the game: 12 plays, 78 yards, 6:14 off the clock in the later stages of this game. It was a 2-yard passing touchdown from Hunter Simmons to Lance Mason. Fun fact, this was in the fourth quarter, by the way, both of Hunter Simmons' passing touchdowns in his Wisconsin career have been to Lance Mason.
Wow.
And both have been in the fourth quarter. So, fourth quarter Hunter.
Yeah. Shout out Hunter. That's Hunter Simmons, Lance Mason connection. It's just different. And, yeah, I mean, arguably, though, I think going back to the refs briefly, Eugene Hilton Jr. very easily could have gotten credit for that touchdown. Yeah. It looked like he was in. He had landed on top of the Oregon defender, brought into the end zone. But, hey, they scored. They scored a touchdown, so I'm not picky. Not picky.
I was happy with that.
Eugene Hilton Jr., another young talent on this team, though.
Yeah.
Fickle guy.
Had to come back and catch that ball, too. It was underthrown, so good adjustment by him mid-route to go, all right, I gotta come back and get this thing. I thought he was in because, he rolled over the defender, and then it was whether or not I think his elbow was down, and they said it was, and I was like, oh, boy. Don't let the reason we don't score a touchdown here be because we're an inch short.
Oh, my gosh.
I could feel that brewing.
Yeah, and then when Simmons fumbled the snap.
And we lost a yard.
The next play, it was like, oh, my gosh.
Like we
we're really going to blow this. We're never going to score again. And thankfully, though, next play, good call by Jeff Grimes. Got the job done.
Talking about the quarterback situation, I have already made the proposal, especially with the eligibility requirements implying that Carter Smith, if he were to play in the next 4 games, still gets his 4 years. It's more than 4 games since 2018 in Division I NCAA that you have burned an eligibility year. So if Carter Smith played 5 or 6, so be it. Jason Wilde and Jauch, weekdays from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. I had a good comment when we were talking about the Hunter Simmons quarterback situation for Wisconsin, whether or not to bring in Carter Smith. I took the quote, Wisconsin quarterbacks have been an absolute joke for the last 3 seasons, and said this: Hunter Simmons started 3 games at Southern Illinois last year. Isn't this on the coaching staff for not having more capable quarterbacks after losing their NIL-paid, hand-picked starters all 3 of Fickell's years? And I think this is interesting because effectively, with what's been happening to Wisconsin's quarterback, 1, your QB3 is really your QB2 as of late. You're going to have to use them at some point, or they're going to be your next option if option B goes wrong, which has been more likely than not as of late.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I love where Jason's getting at here, and I appreciate that he listens to the show. But I think if you want to go at Luke Fickell's recruiting, one of the most damning things about Luke Fickell's recruiting has been the quarterback position. Yeah. Luke Fickell has not shown the ability to properly recruit the quarterback position. I could name a solid player, I think, at just about every other position that Luke Fickell has brought in. Yeah. But we haven't had the opportunity to see starting quarterbacks play that well. Tanner Mordecai played the longest, and Jason Wilde brought him up in a response. He clearly has some skill, and we saw that really, unfortunately, though, we didn't really see that until the ReliaQuest Bowl against LSU.
He put on a show.
Exactly. He looked awesome in the ReliaQuest Bowl, but in the regular season, even before he was hurt, he didn't light up anything. He didn't look fantastic. Then he got hurt against Iowa. And then, granted, Tanner Mordecai is a tough SOB because he tried to play through a broken hand as a quarterback. I cannot imagine that pain. But Tanner Mordecai, probably the best of the bunch. Van Dyke tears his ACL against Alabama. We don't see or hear from him at all the rest of the year. Leaves. Billy Edwards Jr. really thought this was going to be the first successful quarterback with Luke Fickell. He hurts his knee and then tries to come back probably too early, gets hurt again, and now we're probably not going to see him the rest of the year. So, who is the backup then? Braden Locke for 2 seasons, and this year, Danny O'Neal and Hunter Simmons. Those 3 have not been Big Ten caliber quarterbacks. No. And that does come down to coaching and talent evaluation. And they haven't been able to find either a guy who fits the system. Braden Locke did not fit Phil Longo's air raid system whatsoever. He was too small, and he couldn't make the throws necessary to run that quarterback-based system. Like, you need a very good, strong, tall, archetypical quarterback to run a successful air raid offense.
Mm-hmm.
And then this season, Jeff Grimes, which seems like a much more quarterback-friendly offense, Danny O'Neal makes too many mental mistakes, can't properly make decisions. He didn't make good decisions. He got panicked, went under duress too often.
Scurried a lot.
And then Hunter Simmons just doesn't have the talent. He doesn't have it. He can't make the throws. He started 3 games. Like Jason said, he started 3 games at SIU.
Yeah.
This guy's not a Big Ten quarterback. He's not a Power 4 quarterback, respectfully. So that comes back to Fickell, to Grimes. You have to be able to find the proper person to man the most important position on your team.
And you need multiple.
Yes.
Especially with what's been happening with the starting quarterback the last 3 years.
Yes. And Fickell, I think he thought he addressed that this season.
I thought he did in the offseason. I was like,
San Diego State University started all 12 games. He has experience. He's bringing this guy in specifically so in case Billy Edwards Jr. goes down, he'll step in and he'll be just fine. And we thought that is what was going to happen, especially after that Middle Tennessee game and his relief against Miami of Ohio, where he really showed that confidence and the moxie and had the energy necessary. But then really once things started going wrong for Danny, once defenses started throwing different looks at him, he couldn't hack it.
Right.
So what is missing is my question. When Luke Fickell is evaluating quarterback talent, what is he not seeing here?
Where's the disconnect?
What isn't working? What isn't making sense? How has he whiffed so horribly on all of these backup quarterbacks? And I mean, maybe in somehow the starters, he's found the most injury-prone starters of all time. But it's not like they're running teams out of the gym either.
No.
We haven't seen we haven't seen a quarterback as good as Bart Houston under Luke Fickell. We haven't seen a quarterback as good as Alex Hornibrook under Luke Fickell. As good as, even I had this thought today, we haven't seen a quarterback as good as Tanner McAvoy.
Yeah.
Under Gary Anderson, a converted safety.
That's crazy.
And that is on the coaching staff.
It's finding the right system for him. It's getting him comfortable, and it's the first step, right, Riley? If you're going out and getting what we've done the last couple of years, essentially a fifth-year senior or a transfer portal quarterback who's going into his last year of eligibility, is that first step is identifying, is this guy going to be a good fit with what my OC, in this case Jeff Grimes, is doing. In the case before, Phil Longo is doing. And the answer has been a resounding no. These guys don't fit. O'Neal, I think, is the biggest reflection of Jason's point. I think when you get down to QB3, yes, if you want to say it's technically the backup with how much the real starter, the QB1, has been going down, sure. But Danny O'Neal was hey, if Billy Edwards Jr. goes down, this guy is in. And this guy started all 12 games last year, and he was honorable mention All Mountain West. He is the first answer. And we found out pretty quickly, once they started playing Power 4 football, he should not have been the first backup plan for a situation that more often than not the last 2 years has had to hand the baton over involuntarily. First Mordecai and then Van Dyke. I think O'Neal is the real unfortunate reflection of that. Is this was your first resort and he was not ready. Yeah, that's simply it.
Yeah, and I think it's most frustrating when you look at all the examples of it succeeding elsewhere. Bo Prabula last year, the most recent, best example of it working really well. It comes in against Wisconsin, plays fantastic, and now he's leading a top 25 Missouri team to, I think they lost to Vanderbilt today, so probably not making the college football playoff.
Yeah.
However,
contending.
Still, I think they have a 10% chance now, but they were in the mix up until today. He's capable of leading that good of a squad in the SEC. It's possible, even in this NIL era. And then if you want to go back to other eras, I think it's more difficult in this era where you can't have quarterbacks sit for years underneath other guys and really learn the system, and it doesn't help when you don't have a consistent offensive system in place.
Right.
But my mind went back to Cardell Jones against Wisconsin, the Big Ten championship game. Comes in for an injured J.T. Barrett and just lights up the Badgers for 59 points. It seems to happen against the Badgers all the time successfully. Even today, you have Brock Thomas come in for the Ducks, and he doesn't do anything spectacular. He's not going to be the starter going forward.
Did his job, though.
He didn't look like a starting quarterback, but he looked like a serviceable backup who can bridge the gap. And Wisconsin hasn't even had that, which, if you're Jeff Grimes, if you're Luke Fickell, that needs to be remedied.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Brock Thomas, he didn't do much. Did his job. He went 4 for 4, 46 yards, a touchdown. They went pretty run-heavy once Brock Thomas was there, which that's what Wisconsin was doing anyway. They ran the ball 29 times. Hunter Simmons had to throw it 21 times. But, only completed 7 of those. You need competent quarterback play even if you get into your QB2 and your QB3 in your depth chart.
Is part of it on Kenny Guyton, too?
Could be.
Quarterback's coach. He was a quarterback at Ohio State. I don't know. Like, how deep does it go?
Where's the issue fall? Yeah.
Exactly. But Fickell, it's ultimately his decision. So it ultimately falls on him. But regardless, it's certainly a coaching staff and a talent evaluation issue that if Luke Fickell is able to keep his job until next year, he needs to fix because he's had 3 shots.
Yeah.
He's missed all 3. And 4th time better be the charm.
That's well put. You got to get your guys ready for war, and you have to have the right pieces in place to go to war and succeed.
Right commander.
Right? Exactly. Need a good commander.
The right chief. The leader.
We were celebrating when Wisconsin... we were celebrating when Wisconsin scored that touchdown, got our drive of the game today. You can celebrate as well with Celebrations Entertainment. Planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. And when we come back, we have our Metro Ford of Madison College football scoreboard update, and we will put together some helmet stickers. I've got a couple. I was impressed today. Played up to Oregon, stuck in the fight, got punched at the beginning with that onside kick recovery by the Ducks. Never got a true kickoff or never got the true opportunity to receive a kickoff in the first or second half, and still stuck with this top 10, almost top 5 football team. College scoreboard update, helmet stickers coming up next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison is throwing the Halloween party of the year. Join the fun Friday, October 31st at our Halloween Bonanza costume contest. We're giving away $6,000 in cash prizes at our 9 p.m. drawing. But get creative because the better the costume, the bigger the prize. You'll also enjoy a DJ, a free photo booth, a treat bag with a free drink ticket, plus $10 in rewards play when you arrive wearing a costume. Bring your Halloween spirit to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Wisconsin icon.
It's all about the Badgers.
The dawn of the Wisconsin Badgers.
We did it better than everybody for 20-some years.
Joined by two of his football legends.
I like all of them, except for quarterback.
I like defensive ends.
Hey,
I really like defensive ends.
Someone didn't like kickers at one point.
The Barry Alvarez Show with Barry Alvarez, Tarek Saleh, Derek Engler, and Jesse Nelson. Live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton every Monday night. Right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my great friends at Door County Distillery. Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. It's the best time of the year. It's bourbon season. Weather outside getting a little chilly, but you can stay warm with a delicious glass of the Door County Distillery bourbon. Or check out Door County Distillery exclusives like their cherry bourbon and their bat bourbon. It's bat good. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Oregon 21, Wisconsin 7. We head into a bye week again before Wisconsin plays Washington at home for what I'm hoping is the Carter Smith debut for this team.
That would rock.
Mixed feelings out there, but I think it'd be fun. Got a lot of potential, even if he doesn't put it all together right away. It is time. We know what happened in the Wisconsin game. To look around college football, it is the Metro Ford of Madison College Football Scoreboard Update. Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealer. Whether you need to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford, Metro Ford is the place to go. Visit Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today, or go to their website, metrofordofmadison.com, to see this month's specials and browse their amazing inventory. Riley, let's take a look around college football.
That we shall, Corey. Let's start in the greatest conference in the country, the Big Ten. Indiana, the second-ranked Hoosiers, handle business against UCLA, smoking them 56-6. Not even close. The Mendoza brothers, big winners in that one. Washington hanging a big number on Illinois, the 23rd-ranked Fighting Illini fall to the Huskies by a score of 42-25. The Badgers have to play the Washington Huskies in just a couple of weeks post-bye. I mean, it's hard to get excited about Wisconsin football this season, but that one in particular might not have a ton of juice. Number 25, Michigan, able to get by in-state rival Michigan State, 31-20. Nebraska beats Northwestern 28-21. Needed a touchdown late in that one to take care of the Wildcats. Rutgers, game-winning field goal today to beat the Purdue Boilermakers 27-24. And my favorite Big Ten game of the day, the battle for the Floyd of Rosedale. I believe, the Floyd of Rosedale, yes. Iowa, the Hawkeyes, smash the Minnesota Golden Gophers 41-3. Not even close. That game was over. Remember the Wisconsin-Iowa game was over in the first quarter? That game also over in the first quarter. It's 24-0 heading into quarter number 2, or 17-0. They made it 24-0 very quickly into quarter number 2. An absolute beatdown. Love to see the Gophers just get it handed to them. I don't like seeing Iowa win, but if it's against Minnesota, I'll take it. That's it for the Big Ten. A quick run through the top 25. Georgia Tech beats Syracuse 41-16. They improved to 8-0 for the first time since 1966. Ole Miss beats Oklahoma 34-26. We talked about this earlier. Virginia barely scrapes by UNC on a failed 2-point conversion attempt, winning 17-16. Memphis knocks off number 18 USF 34-31. Alabama hangs on out in Columbia, South Carolina, winning 29-22. Vanderbilt beats Mizzou 17-10. BYU comes back to beat Iowa State 41-27. Texas Tech 42-0 shutout over Oklahoma State. Cincinnati now in pole position for that Group of 5 spot in the college football playoff. 41-20 over Baylor. What am I saying? Group of 5 there in the Big 12 now.
You're good.
Golly, behind the times. Texas comes back to beat Mississippi State in overtime, 45-38. Miami crushes Stanford 42-7. Texas A&M batters LSU in Death Valley, 49-25. Louisville over BC, 38-24. That's Boston College. Tennessee, 56-34 winners over Kentucky. And finally, the Houston Cougars, 24-16 victors over the 24th-ranked Arizona State Sun Devils.
The Sun Devils are going to fall out of the top 25 with that one, you think?
That they will.
Maybe Houston takes their spot?
Yep, Houston, 7-1 now in the Big 12. If you have a Houston, let's give this hypothetically for the college football playoff. BYU Houston.
Ooh.
In the Big 12 championship, BYU is undefeated. If Houston wins the Big 12 championship, I feel like the committee would try to get BYU out, but how can you keep a 12-1 BYU squad?
They won the Holy War this year.
Out of the college football playoff. There's a scenario where the Big 12 gets 2 teams in the college football playoff.
And I think
that'd be fun.
In that case scenario, it's well-deserved. BYU won that big game against Utah not too long ago. The quick thing that came to my mind when you brought up Minnesota getting absolutely lambasted by the Iowa Hawkeyes today by 38. Wisconsin only lost by 37.
Come on.
There's a scenario. You need a lot to go Wisconsin's way and a lot to go against the Golden Gophers' way, but they are a 5-3 ball club right now. You need 6 to get bowl eligibility, right, Riley?
Here's
who they have left. Michigan State, who put up a good fight against Michigan today. Number 6, Oregon. Northwestern, that's going to be the tough one. If Northwestern at the baby football field can pull it off, then they roll into the Wisconsin game at 5-6. Wisconsin takes the axe, keeps Minnesota out of bowl eligibility, and we all go home happy.
That would be very satisfying.
Need some help.
Hey, the Gophers kept us from playing for a national championship back in, I think that was 94. It was one of the Rose Bowl seasons where they kept us out of the national championship. So, return the favor. Keep them out of bowl eligibility. We've done that before. Will they probably get either Northwestern or Michigan State? Yes.
Yeah,
so it probably won't matter. Badgers at this point get the axe. And I think fans, while the season will be, we did get a little flack on Twitter for phrasing this earlier. Will it be a successful season? No. And will the season be, honestly, pretty abject failure going 3-9? Yes. But to have your first Big Ten win since October of last year and your last game of the season, there's just be so many positives and just some nice feelings heading into the offseason with the axe and a win over the Golden Gophers. It'd just be nice.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to bookend the season. You start out 2-0, just throw out the next few games, and then end with the win and get Paul Bunyan's axe back. We're going to do a little doubleheader this segment because I do think there's a few of these to pass around. Riley, we are bringing the helmet stickers out of retirement.
Let's see who earned it.
Jack Cichy doing it all on this drive for the Badger D. Melvin Gordon inside the 20. Uses the stiff arm. Hold on. Is he in? That's a Wisconsin touchdown. Going deep. Down the left sideline. Man's there and got him. In stride. And it's Vinny Anthony. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Time to give out some helmet stickers on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Retirement may have been a bit harsh. Hiatus.
Yeah.
Sabbatical.
I like those. Hiatus and sabbatical are good words.
It has been a bit.
I like that.
All right, let's give them out. So, Riley, if you were watching on the ESPN Wisconsin or ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels, has a helmet that tape is doing the Lord's work there.
This helmet is in absolute shambles right now. The face mask coming off. It's a good, it's very representative of the season for Wisconsin. the program at present, just hanging on by a thread, baby. Maybe representative of Luke Fickell's tenure here, just hanging on. Just hanging on.
Cooper Catalano. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's
symbolic in nature.
Yeah.
So we're just going to simply give these out. It is our rendition here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day's postgame show of the game ball, or who takes home the player of the game. I'm giving out multiple here, Riley. I'm going to start with
generous man.
Yeah. Mason Reiger, Oregon, covers the onside kick to start the game. Lanning throws the first punch, and Reiger gets home to force a turnover on downs and hand the football off to the offense, who would score their first touchdown of the game 3 quarters later. Good job, Reiger.
Let's go. You can't see it on the YouTube stream, kind of defeats the purpose, but you'd have to reach all the way across, or I just have to toss it.
We had to do the exchange in the blind spot.
Exactly. Not ideal.
There
but
is a sticker
you understand
there now.
What we're doing. Let's see. Today they're just a black blotch. As you can see, not many stickers given out throughout this season.
I thought Vinny Anthony did well, too. Specifically, there was a great play halfway through the second quarter in punt coverage where he downed the ball inside the 2. Used him as some pre-snap motion eye candy. Had him flying around. You could see the members of the secondary for Oregon kind of following him around even if he didn't have the ball. I thought Vinny Anthony quietly had a nice game today, even if he didn't have the home run play we were looking for.
Rip my sticker in half. There we go. On for Vinny Anthony. Congratulations.
Who did you have today?
I will also give out a couple, starting with Gideon Atuka.
Yeah, that's a good one.
85 yards on 21 carries today. He was so close to hitting that 20-yard rush mark for a running back. The Badgers still looking for their first 20-plus yard rush from a running back this season. Very close today. And still looking for their first 100-yard rusher since Tawee Walker last season against Northwestern. Was really hoping Atuka would get the job done. Couldn't do it, but nonetheless, fantastic effort, fantastic performance today from the redshirt freshman running back, Gideon Atuka. So he gets a helmet sticker from me. Put that down there. And last but certainly not least, Eugene Hilton Jr. Didn't play much today, but had the big reception. Excellent work of coming back to the football on the underthrown pass. Hunter Simmons under duress makes the catch. I think he should have been awarded a touchdown, but just another bright young star for this Badgers squad, hopefully, in the future. Not a lot, obviously, positive this season, but, man, there really is some young talent, which is good and a breath of fresh air to see.
And I agree. I think he broke the play, and it was close. We probably don't score that touchdown if not for him. It was a 42-yard gain, and this team was not exactly getting gains in bunches. Atuka had an 18-yard rush. That is now the new longest rush of the season by a Wisconsin running back. I say that because Tretch had a long one against MTSU. The punter West had a 20-yard rush on the fake.
Sean West still has a longer rush than any running back this season.
We're getting
the Badges.
18's the new
Almost.
season high.
They're getting there, getting close.
Those are your helmet stickers for today. Awesome stuff. Thank you for donating half of yours to mine. I should have just ripped mine in half.
It's okay.
We're dressing it up.
Filling it up, kind of. Just a little bit.
Great opportunity for a lot of you. In 2 weeks, when Wisconsin's back at home after the bye week, all refreshed, you will be too, because our friends at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle program during home games this football season for just $20. Get a Coors Light and a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. Final thoughts, looking ahead to the bye, and then Washington when we come back. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses. helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Every team needs captains and playmakers, and Madison and Dane County Pizza Hut locations are looking for both. They're hiring managers to lead the crew and drivers to deliver big wins and pizzas. Find part-time or full-time roles with flexible hours, plus full benefits for those who work 30 or more hours per week. Whether it's running the huddle or making plays on the road, there's a spot at Pizza Hut for you. Apply today at jobs.pizzahut.com. That's jobs.pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Your seat at the table just got better. Step into the high-limit room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. This is true high-limit play. Experience enhanced game rules, including blackjack where the dealer stands on soft 17, better odds, faster play, and authentic action that sets Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Your next hand could be your best yet. Find your edge, play your rhythm, and raise the stakes in the high-limit room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good-looking woman with her arms around me. Live in a small
A lot of good to take away from today relative to weeks past. Still plenty to fix. We're reacting live to the 21-7 defeat. Oregon takes down Wisconsin in Eugene on Grateful Dead night. Still love those jerseys. Not going to lie to you. We are reporting to you live from the Starion Bank broadcast booth. Experience a banking relationship where your goals are their priority. As a community bank with a commitment to Dade County, Starion Bank redefines local banking in the Madison area. Visit one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today, or online at starionbank.com. Cory Sparks, Riley Jauch, and Owen Dimful here with you at the Everlight Solar Studios on 100.5 ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is our final thoughts segment, more or less looking ahead. First, it's an off week, then it's Washington on November 8th at home. Riley, you were just saying in the break, more positives today than we've had in a long while, if we're being honest with ourselves here.
Yes, I loved going back to the very first thing you said bringing us into the show today. Absolutely loved the energy and the passion that the team played with, especially the defense right out of the gate. You have the onside kick sprung on you. You don't flinch. You bounce back. You force the turnover on downs. The young talent on this team shined very, very brightly today, which I think gives you that glimmer of hope. If you are a Luke Fickell supporter and you wanted something to stand on, something to hang your hat on, it's that young talent. It looks like there is the makings of a young nucleus here. And that is very, very fun to see. And I think now it's pretty obvious what the biggest issue for this team is. And it's still, unfortunately, the quarterback position. The most important position on the field is still the biggest issue for Wisconsin. But at least now, if this team continues to play this hard for Coach Fickell and the defense continues to play that well, Oregon's only been held under 30 points twice this season by Indiana and Wisconsin. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Good poll, my friend.
So look at that. Shout out Connor Whelan on Twitter. I just saw that during the break.
There you go.
But if they continue to play that well and they continue to play that hard, these current guys, the players who are on the field today, I think a lot of the players who are injured today, they might be making business decisions. That's not a guarantee. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, we'll slap an allegedly on it, but I see what you're saying.
But it has that feeling to it. The guys who played today, they want to be here. And if they continue to play like that, I think there's some hope for the future, which is more than we can say after last week.
This is going to sound weird, Riley, but I think it's a positive that you can actually pinpoint what the problem with this team is.
Clarity is a very important thing.
And it's something we didn't have a few weeks ago after the 24-10 or the loss in general to Maryland. It's something we didn't really have after the blowout loss 37-0 against Iowa. You and I were sitting here going, what is wrong? Where is the disconnect? Why are they not out there performing in some of the biggest? The Iowa was one of the biggest games of the year. The whole 42 push-ups thing that drove the entire offseason program. Now you can pinpoint not only the main issue right now in the quarterback situation, the quarterback depth situation. Shout out to Jason Wilde for bringing that up on X, that maybe the NIL fund should be a little more dedicated and the scouting effort should be a little more honed in on nailing QB depth given what's happened the last couple of years. But Riley, the first thing you pointed out before talking about the issue of quarterback is we actually have something to look forward to in that young nucleus, the Mason Posas of the world, the Cooper Catalanos of the world, the backfield today. Atuka had an awesome game. The offensive line, even when it was a hodgepodge group, was able to hold their own against the number 6 team in the country. The fact we're actually able to grab definitives and go, that is a driving point that we can carry forward to next week, to next month, to the offseason, to next season, which I don't want to look too far ahead, but the schedule looks a lot more gettable. And that might be one of the arguments towards the question that we threw in the ESPN Madison YouTube channel live chat. It was, did this game change how you feel about Wisconsin firing Luke Fickell? 43% said yes, give him another shot. 57% said no. I bet if we put that out a couple of weeks ago, it's a lot closer to 80-20, 90-10 range.
Yeah. Last week, I think you're full 90-10, if not close to 100-0.
Yeah.
After that Ohio State game, the Iowa debacle, the Maryland atrocity, there were so many bad performances. And has Luke Fickell had a lot more bad moments this season than good? Yes. But ultimately, it's not how you start. It's how you finish. So if Fickell and the Badgers can have a strong final push to the finish line, maybe steal a win against a Washington, Illinois. I don't think they're stealing one against Indiana. But you steal
Illinois
one.
Is trending in an interesting direction.
Exactly. They're not a juggernaut. That's for sure. Washington's going to be very tough as well. Desmond Williams Jr., their quarterback, threw for 4 touchdowns today against the Illini. It's going to be tough. But you steal one against a Washington or Illinois, you beat Minnesota, and there seems to be positive momentum. That would be a different feeling than what we had the past 2 seasons under Luke Fickell. There was no positive momentum. In season number 1, there was all the hype, the pomp and circumstance surrounding the hire.
We got the big hire.
And it was lackluster. Yep. And you almost pull off a big win against LSU in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Doesn't pan out. So everyone's kind of feeling like, okay, that was disappointing, but maybe. And then last year seems to be trending down after the season. Miss a bowl game, end the streak. Everyone's freaking out. This year, obviously, a very, very brutal first 8 games, 2-6. But there's a chance to turn the tides still. And that, I think, would change, not everyone, but it would change a significant portion of the fan base's viewpoint, I think.
It's probably not the best argument for me to make here to defend Fickell, but could you imagine if let's say they steal a game against an Illinois and then they get the axe back? You just go, wow. After all of that, we were only one game worse than last year.
Yeah, exactly.
But the main point being, you finished strong. Last year, they limped to the finish. They were 5-2 and lost the final 5 games. You want that taste in the mouth of fans to be a little better than it was last year after they lost again in the rivalry game for Paul Bunyan's axe. So if you can finish strong, I think even going 3-9, like you said, the season as a whole wouldn't be successful, but you'd finish on a higher note. That's good. So there is an off week, and then it's Washington on November 8th. That is not as winnable of a game as I would have thought it was, say, 9 weeks ago. So what say you? Yeah, same idea.
No, I think they're going to lose against Washington. It will be very tough. I don't think Camp Randall, because I believe it's at home, correct? Yep. Yeah, home away. Going to be at home. I don't think Camp Randall's going to be all that raucous. I think the bye week fans, again, like at this point, a lot of fans are already pretty apathetic, pretty checked out. It's going to be a very difficult game to win. Washington is the better team. However, again, I think there's a way out, and there's something to be said for patience.
Yeah.
And if Badgers fans can be patient, I don't think there's so many things, and we've talked about it ad nauseum this season, that Luke Fickell has done wrong, and he's made so many mistakes with how he's approached everything off the field, donors, in-state recruiting, alumni, etc., on the field decisions. A lot of people were getting mad at him for being conservative again at halftime.
Yep.
But if you get some positive momentum, it seems like they're going to stick with Fickell. There's a chance that, slim chance, that this could end up working out. This gamble that the university is taking on Luke Fickell could pay off. We'll see. I don't think it's going to help against Washington. Yeah. I don't think that's going to affect anything. I think the Huskies will probably roll, or it'll be a game similar to this.
Yeah.
But you have a bye week to recalibrate, hopefully get a few more guys healthy, and you go from there. Try to finish the season strong. You have a good final kick.
I like it. Before we sign off for tonight, Riley, not who do you want to be QB1, but who do you think in your heart of hearts will be QB1 against Washington 2 weeks from today at home? We don't have a kickoff time yet. We will find that out in the next week.
I think in my heart of hearts, I want it to be Danny O'Neal.
Yep.
I think it will be Hunter Simmons.
Okay.
I think whatever he's doing at practice is clearly winning him that starting job over Danny O'Neal. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're seeing that's different, or it's just the lesser of two evils seems to be the most likely case. But I think Hunter Simmons will be starting against the Washington Huskies.
Do you believe Carter Smith will still be the third option in that room at that point?
Yes, but I would not be shocked.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if they play him against. I
want it fresh off the bye week at home.
I know.
I really do.
I know. I want it to.
Yeah.
I don't see it happen. I think they're going to stick with Hunter Simmons. I'd love to see Carter Smith. I really hope it happens. Last 4 games of the season, I really want to see Carter Smith. I think it's going to be Hunter Simmons.
No, and that's why I asked you, right? Like, what do you think is going to happen? I think you and I both want something similar. It'd be a little exciting to see that the last 4 games of the year. But that is going to do it for us today. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is presented to you by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, Riley.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Bye week next week. Washington on November 8th at home at Camp Randall. Kickoff details to come in the coming week. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, Brad Nortman, Riley Jauch will have you for the pregame show. Myself, Riley, and Owen Dibfo, who did an amazing job here today, as always, will have you for the postgame show. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Have a good night. Peace.
Reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balance